Okay, hi there. So welcome to Scratch and how to design a maze game. You can see already here an existing one in there, but I'm going to start from new. If you're not sure where your projects are stored, they're always stored here under your username and my stuff. But we're going to start with create. It's always good to create something rather than just consume other people's products. And you will find other examples and explore if you search for mazes in there. But what we're going to do over the next wee while, and the various chapters that you can find for this, is to create a maze game that has multiple levels and a range of other more sophisticated pieces of programming code that we can use. So clicking on create, and whenever you do that, the default page opens up, screen opens up with the default character in it, and an empty project ready to go. So first of all, what we're going to do is do what all good digital citizenship people should do, is preserve some security and have a good name. So we've done that now. And we can see here the character who's called a sprite, our cat, and here he is down here. And here he is sitting on our stage, which is where all the action will happen. The stage looks rather small, but you can always make it full screen by just clicking here, and back out we go again. So over here we see, I was talking about the stage before, so think of this as an actor on a stage. And so here's our stage area. So if we click on the stage, you can see that everything here has changed to do with saying the stage has been selected. If we go back to the character, things change a little bit. So it's important to make sure you know where your focus is. And over here we have tools to do with the new sprite. Down here, the tools to do with the stage under the stage area. In this sector of the screen, we see a range of categories here under the scripts tab. And depending on the color you've selected, the category you've selected, you get a range of different tools. Motion tools, control tools, event tools that start things and get them happening, sound, looks, and so on. Each sprite has a range of 3 things you can look at in terms of his tabs: scripts, costumes, and so you can see here that the cat has 2 costumes, one with his legs in a slightly different position to the other and his arms, and this would make, if you swap from costume to costume, look like he was walking a little bit more rather than just sliding along the ground. And we see some sounds to do with them. When you're on the costumes, depending on what costume you've got selected, it will change here and the name will change up here. And of course you can see over here, now that we're on the costume, got a range of drawing tools where you can, obviously if you've started drawing your own one, you can go for it. You can also load up new costumes, take photographs, and so on. Anyway, we're going to start our maze by choosing 2 characters, 2 sprites to go on our page. It's always good when you're designing a game to think of a story you're going to tell. So because it's a maze, we've got 1 character, 1 sprite trying to get to a goal, and so we're going to start by getting 2 characters. Start by deleting 2-finger click over here, or a right click, and deleting the cat. And we're going to load up 2 new sprites. So coming down here to choose a sprite from the library, could paint your own one, upload one from somewhere else from a file, or take a photograph. Choosing a sprite, and my story is going to be a police dog trying to find his donut at the end of the maze. So here's my police dog. He's looking fairly sharp, isn't he? So there he is. We'll just pop him over there. You can see over here now that this picture here has changed to the police dog. This is telling us where I've positioned him on the screen at X. So that's away from the center on a horizontal line. He's at -179, and he's up on the Y at 137. So you need to learn about the X and the Y axes if you haven't done so already. So we've got him whipping back down here, going to choose another one. So as I said, he's off to find his donut in the maze. Haven't got the maze there yet, but we've got the 2 sprites on there ready to go. So now we're going to resize these 2 characters as the last part of this chapter of the video. And we could resize using these area tools up here. And if I choose to shrink, you can see I can shrink it and I can expand it. But since we're learning to code, we'll use some blocks from over here. So first of all, I'm going to go to the events category, and this will be our first program. So computers are very systematic. They have to be told to do things. So one of the things they have to be told to do is to start, like getting yourself out of bed in the morning. Let's kick start into the day. So when the green flag is clicked, and by the way, over here is the green flag that we haven't clicked yet. Obviously at this point nothing will happen because it just says when the green flag does click, nothing will happen underneath. So we've got to add something else to that. We're going to go to the looks category, the purple color, and we're going to grab the block that says set size to 100%. And I'm going to think about my game and what I'm doing, and obviously my character needs to be significantly smaller if he's going to be fitting in a maze and walking through a maze this way or that way, whatever it might be. So he'll need to be significantly smaller. So I'm just going back to his scripts. Whoops, looks like for some reason I lost that flag, so I pop that back on there. Looks. Oh, that illustrates the fact, sorry, that I was on the donut before. You're going to make sure, depending on what sprite you clicked on, that's the one that you're programming. Again, that's why that little area up there is significant. We'll start with the dog. A good coder is always trying to think logically about why you get a bit of a surprise every now and then. So we'll go set size, and we're looking at the dog and thinking I would like him 25% of his normal size. So I'll press the green flag, test that part of my program. Yes, I like that size. I think that'll be about right. So now we'll do the donut by clicking on the donut, and there's the program I dropped in before. And I think I'll have the donut at 30%. So now when we click the flag, this guy will stay the same size. He won't get big and get smaller because he's just been told to set his size to that, and so should the donut. There we go. Awesome. Next part, we'll learn to animate, get our dog to walk across the screen in 4 different directions to do with arrows, and load up a maze background. So import a maze background. Also, keep in mind that you will need to know a little bit about the X and Y axes to accomplish this.